Hi everyone, I'm Sudevan, Assistant Professor in English Department at PPG College of Arts and Science. In this video, we are going to discuss about the short story, The Scribe, written by Kristin Hunter. Let me share some interesting details about the author before explaining the short story. Kristin Helen Hunter was born on 12th of September 1931. She was an African American writer from Pennsylvania. She attended Haddon Heights High School until 1947. At the age of 14, she began writing a column about the young people for the Pittsburgh Courier and continued to do so until 1952. In 1953, she got graduated from the University of Pennsylvania, where she received her bachelor's degree in education. Her first and the most acclaimed novel, God Bless a Child, was published in 1964. It discusses the complex issues of race and gender. Her novel, The Landlord, was filmed by Hall Ashby, and also a collection of short stories, Guest in the Promised Land, was nominated for the National Book Award. In 1972, she started teaching English in the University of Pennsylvania, and later on she retired from the service in 1995. She died in 2008 at the age of 77. Let us switch over to the characters in the short story. These are the characters that played a major role in this particular short story. Starting with the first character, James, an young boy of 13 years of age. We can even say he is the protagonist of this particular short story. Whereas with the next two characters, Old Man Silver and Old Man Dollar, these are the two people who owns the Silver Dollar Casting Center. Whereas with the next character, Minnie Franklin, she is one of the first people who James tried to help with reading her grandson's letter. The next character, a veteran, a man who came to the Silver Dollar Casting Center just to write a letter to the government stating his change in address. Whereas with the next character, a cop, a policeman, he is the person who drove James away when he was trying to help the people. The final two characters, Mr. Lovejoy and Mrs. Adams, these are the two people who works in the back. The short story begins with James living in an apartment over the Silver Dollar Casting Center for about 5 years, but he never had a reason to get into that particular service center. But in the recent days, he got an opportunity to visit that particular place to get some change for his mother. So he entered the store, the service center. He can see two persons sitting behind the glass door. One was Old Man Silver and another one was Old Man Dollar, who owns the place. So there he can see signboards tackled up everywhere where it is written no launching, no loitering. This is not a waiting room. And minimum cash checking fee is 50 cents. And letters addressed it's 50 cents. And letters read it's 75 cents. And for letters written it's $1. So these are the payment details that were tackled up everywhere. And people who come there to just cash their checks, they get their pictures taken, like how people get their pictures taken in the police station. So after James got a change, he just waited somewhere on a corner just to notice like what is happening in that place. So there he can witness women, old women. She approached Silver Dollar just to write a form. So he got the details like Mr. Silver. He asked for the details from that woman and she just got collapsed with her details. And there creates some commotion between these two people. The old lady and Mr. Silver Dollar. After that, a man came with a cane. He is a veteran who wants to write a letter to the government stating that he has changed from this address to a different new address. So he just seek the help of Mr. Silver just to write a letter to the government stating his change in address. So he shared the details with Mr. Silver. So he wrote the letter and collected the amount for that. And then he handed over the letter back to the veteran. So on seeing these things, James literally got irritated and he literally wants to shout back at these two people, like because they are just collecting the amount from the innocent people just to write a letter, just to fill up a form, even to read a letter. So he feels this is very bad and this is not a good thing to do. And seeing all these happen in the Silver Dollar Casting Center, James got angry. So he left the home angrily. And there her mother explained all these things, like how the people in her neighborhood. And she also informed that like many people, like many old people in the neighborhood came from south and they have to leave their school in their early ages just to work in the field. So they aren't dumb. They just never had the opportunity to read. So James decides to take an action against this one. He says, if they can't read and write, then I will be their scribe. So the very next morning, after his parents went to work, so he took his mom's card table and a folding chair, and he just went to the sidewalk. And there he just made a signboard. So where it was written, public scribe, all service is free. So he set up his table in front of Silver Dollar Casting Center, and he just waited for business. And the only thing that bothered him, it was like, if the people aren't able to read like what he has written in his signboard, then how come they will get to know that I'm here to help them? So this is the only thing that was running his mind throughout. And after some point, he got an old lady. So he came up with a letter which was from her grandson. So she requested James to read that particular letter, and he read that letter for her. And after some point, she gave a quarter for reading that particular letter. James returned that amount. He didn't get that from that lady, and she was happy and she said thank you. Then she left that place. Then soon, once the lady left that place, this particular matter got spread everywhere. Like, seems a guy is there, young guy is there, and he is helping people with reading their letters, writing a letter, even with addressing, even with all the things that they can get help from him. So these are the things that happen. Then in that afternoon, he got a bunch of people around him, a crowd of people. So there, what happens, like, he started doing all the services for free. So on seeing these things, Mr. Silver got angry because he is kind of literally ruining his business, because James is doing everything for free, which the Silver Casting Center would have got some money for that. So on seeing these things, he literally got fired up. Then he sent a cop to check with this particular guy who is ruining his particular job. So afternoon, the business was going fine, like he was helping people. So after some point, he was kind of free. So there, a lady came with a iced tea, and another lady came with the fried chicken wings. So James was happy eating them, and he was spending his time there. As soon as those two ladies went, a man came. He was with his he was very tall, heavy, and a blue-eyed cop. So he came there and he just checked with James like what he is trying to do there. Then he said, I'm just helping the people out here. Then he said, just informed James that you are kind of ruining their business, and this is not a fair business to do because you are not getting any money for that, whereas they are charging for it. And until you charge something from them, it's not a fair business. It's not a fair deal. Then James was like, okay, then I will start getting some money from them for all these tasks that I'm doing, like all these helps that I'm doing to them. Then the police replied that if you start charging, for sure I have to make you run away from here because you don't own a license. So if you are not having a license, so you should not do a business here. So these things bothered James a lot, and he was literally speechless. And after that, he went back to his home. He was literally angry, like he could not talk anything back to that policeman because he is literally caught up, because he don't own a license, because he is 13 years of age. So what he did, he went to the park. Then he started throwing some stones at the birds which were there around the pond. So he was kind of okay. Then that particular day, in that evening, once James' dad and mom back at home, so he started asking some questions like why people are not using the bank. So they said they gave a valid reason. So before that, he asked another question. So I never seen you and mom go to that Silver Dollar Casting Center to exchange the cash or some money or to get some change. So what's the deal with that? Then they responded like, we own a bank account. So we have the amount there. So whenever we need, we go and withdraw from there. So no need to pay anything extra. So once James got to know about this one, he literally got curious. Like, if we have such kind of benefit, then why people are running to that Silver Dollar Casting Center, giving extra amount for their own amount? So why is that? So his dad explained that in the earlier stages, the people they thought like the bank is only for the people who have studied, who are literates, and only for the people of white community. So they thought if a black people goes there, they will be tortured or treated badly, or if an even illiterate goes there, they will be made fun of them. So these things made our people like not to go there. So this is the only reason. And another thing is that there was a fear at that point, like, what if my amount is totally bankrupt? So these are the kind of things that were running in that people's mind. So that's the reason they didn't go to bank and they never had an account. So after hearing all these things, James came up with a solution. So the very next day, he went in front of the silver dollar cashing center. He just waited for the people to come. So this time he didn't go with a letter or a table or with a chair. So what he did, he just went there, and whenever people approached the silver dollar catching center, he just interrupted them in between, and he started asking like, I can exchange your check without taking a single penny from your amount. So they were kind of happy hearing that. So at some point he got three clients. One is an old lady who already came with a letter from his grandson, and another two men. One is an old man and another one is an kind of a teenager, we can say. So these people, three people were there. So one of the people, like the teenager, he asked that James that like how far we have to travel from here. He said like 6 blocks from here. Then he was like, okay, for just for saving that 50 cent or $1, I can't walk that much. So let me take a leave and let me go back to Silver Dollar Cashing Center so that I can cash my check. So he started walking with the two people, like other two people, the old lady and the old man. So they just walked for some time. So they went and reached the bank. Okay. So one of the member, the old man, he was literally shocked when he saw that particular building. He openly said, okay, I don't want to come in because I'm literally scared of this particular building. And even if I come there, like for sure they won't be treating me well. Since being a black, I should not come there. So these are the things that was incorporated in the people mind in during those days. So he was literally scared of that particular building, and he said, okay, I'm not going to come in, so please don't drag me in. So let me take a leave, and he just walked back. So James was literally kind of felt bad, like when two of his clients went already, and he got only one old lady standing there. So he was looking at that lady, like even if she is saying the same thing, like even if she wants to go back, then luckily that particular old lady said like, okay, don't worry, son. I can't walk back the same distance just for this particular thing. Okay, let's give it a try. So luckily, once they got into the bank, so James saw Mrs. Adams sitting there in her cabin, so which was just near the window. So as soon as James and this particular lady, Minnie Franklin, when they got into that bank, so Mrs. Adams welcomed them. So James just informed the details like what are the things to be done. So Mrs. Adams took Mrs. Minnie Franklin to her desk to fill out some forms so that she can open a new bank account. So they took some time. So once they are done with all the banking process, so both of them came out. So when Mrs. Minnie Franklin came closer to James, she handed over her the new passbook. So it was very glossy, and she requested James to read that particular passbook. The details what are written in that particular passbook. So there it was written, Mrs. Minnie Franklin, on July 9, 1972, $37. So once she got all these details, Minnie Franklin was more happy than ever before. So after that, like all the things done, Minnie Franklin opened her new bank account. So they planned to go back to their home. So at that point, James asked Minnie Franklin, is that you want me to accompany you to your home? At that point, Minnie Franklin responded back, it's been like more than 44 years since I took a bus from here to Alabama. So today I'm going to give that a try as well. So in the remaining part of my life, I'm going to travel everywhere. So this is what the reply she gave, and she said like, I can go home by myself today. So then there was like all these things done. So this created some thoughts in James' mind. So the exact thought is like, even if a lady of this age started doing all these things and things like going to a bank and opening a new account, since this is also the first time that she is doing, if she can, why can't I go to the city hall and apply for a license? This is how the story ends. Let us get more on to the themes that are employed in this particular short story. So, starting with the first theme, literacy and empowerment. So, reading and writing are more than school subjects, more than that, they are protection. So, James realizes that being literate prevents people from being cheated and gives them a voice in a world that tries to ignore them. Whereas with the next theme, it's exploitation versus service. So, this is exactly like greed versus kindness. While others charge the poor high fees just to fill out forms, whereas the James chooses to help for free. So he proves that a community is stronger when we look out for each other instead of profiting from struggle. Whereas with the next one, it's a generational connection. So it's a bridge between the young and the old. So James has the book smarts, but the elder people have the life wisdom. By helping them, he learns to respect the dignity and understands the hardship that they faced. So, whereas with the next one, courage and civic duty. So, you are never too young to lead. So, James acts as an exact example for this particular line. So, James doesn't wait for an adult to fix things. He grabs a crate and a pen and starts a movement. It shows that taking responsibility for your neighborhood is the ultimate act of courage. So, the final theme, it's institutional distrust. So the system has failed these people. They don't trust banks or official offices because they have been burned before. So James became a trusted middleman, providing a safe space that the official world didn't offer. Thanks for watching.